Hello there, people on the internet. This is ShadowGear635 here doing a review of Vanity. Okay. Couple things about this MOC. I've had the idea to build her for a good, I guess maybe 2 months. I guess it's been about 2 months at least I come up with the idea. And the core idea of making this MOC was actually to be a revamp. The revamp, for any of you, I don't think I ever posted these two characters on YouTube in general, but I posted them on MOC pages for sure. One was called Angelic Lightning and the other one Midnight Flame, I believe. They were two sister MOCs who, they were inspired by Panty and Stocking. If you know what the anime is, Panty and Stocking, it's very famous or infamous, depending on who you are. And I don't know, I came up with two designs and I made two of those sister MOCs and I thought they were cool. Didn't really do anything with them. And this particular design is based around a combination of the two of them. At one point, like, this is back when I made, like, Circuit and Dominion and everyone, like, oh, I want to work on making characters who I never really gave, a lot of effort to, like, oh, hey, here's a weird MOC I made, maybe I can experiment more with that. Like, I didn't want to make anyone big, like any of the more well-known Toa I made, or anything stupid. Like, I wanted to make something that never got its time. Hence why one of the reasons Vespa was made, because I made it as a one-off MOC, and I wanted to explore with it a bit more. So I decided to, make a newer version, and I think I might be making a newer version even newer in the future. I don't know, it depends on how I feel. But yeah, here's this MOC, Vanity. The story idea I had of this character typically was she was going to be a fusion of both of the sisters. But that turned primarily into, right there in the chest, little red gem. I came up with the idea of this being some sort of being of just lust and, vanity, who loves people so much they incorporate other people inside its own body and then take it the form of what they've devoured. So, like, yeah, it sounds contrived. It sounds really contrived and maybe a little pretentious, but it's, I don't know, like, a lot of story stuff I have now, I have locked away for whenever I make stop motions for Dominion and everyone else, so this is a little side thing I thought would be really cool. So it's a combination of both the MOCs, not necessarily in terms of looks, except for her weapons, which I'll get to in a little bit, but primarily in the colors, because, what is it? Angelic had a light blue and black, and Midnight had more of that Technic Django Fett, like that really weird violet color and black, and I decided to take the next best alternative, which is dark purple, because, it's the most widely available purple now, which is crazy. If you told me purple was going to be a common color 5 years ago, I would have told you were crazy, but whatever. Getting on to the MOC, the thing you probably have noticed in pictures and in this review so far is that she has stumpy legs. Just like on Circuit, except Vanity's a little bit more of a hassle. So, man, I am a complete layman. Hold on. I gotta get this! Oh, just like the old reviews. Oh, man. Okay. I can do this. I need to pull something off the shelf. Okay. You're probably the best thing I can measure with here. Alright. We're back in business. There's a very dusty Lewa Mata compared. So, yeah, she's fairly big. She is a larger build than the stuff I normally make in terms of, like, not necessarily Toa, but Toa size things. So where it's like, a little bit under 12 inches, but around 10 or 12. She's a good 13 if you count the tips of her ears. She's bulky. She's bulky and she's tall, primarily in the hips. If you can so clearly see, the hips are just bulging. And that was one of the things why this MOC would have been done a week or so ago if I didn't have a breakdown with these hips. So you can tell, like, I'm making a MOC man, very, very lustful nature. Like, I'm making trying to make an attractive looking MOC. Like, oh, look at these tittylicious boobies, but, like, trying to make something that looks very feminine. And you know, I'm doing pretty well so far. You know, I'm doing pretty good. And then I get to the hips, and it's just like, oh, she has a really pencil-thin body, and then bam, just hips. Which, that's not how they work. That's not how hips work. And I've literally tried like 5 other designs. And like in one night, I spent a good 3 hours coming up with a bunch of different designs. I tried slapping onto her like different waist design, different upper leg design. I really wanted to keep the lower legs primarily because they're these cool spiked looking pencil feet with the little like unikitty horns there. Like, I think the lower leg design I think is perfect. Like, I love the way it looks, so I wanted to keep that. So the thighs, at one point I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna modify them, change them up, and just I got to here, and it's primarily because I think it looks okay like this, but it's not spectacular. So I'm just kind of like, oh, well, okay. I kind of need to move on and work on some other stuff. I don't want to spend another, like, couple weeks working on this mock trying to think of a new design. So it's not so much that I gave up. I think it looks great the way it is, but I know I could have done better if I put more time into it. And if I really want to keep this character and move her along, because she's going to be involved in some story stuff at Minion and whatever here and there. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, she does have the pencil feet. I'm sorry I sidetracked from that to begin with. But decided to do that because I loved the way this whole lower leg design looked. I'm like, well, she's got to have, like, you know, spiky feet because that looks, like, so well with the rest of the mock. And I tried different variations of it. I made a foot design for her that, if I still have the picture, I'm going to throw it up on screen right now, where I had to alter the length of the arms and gave her feet. And I guess she looked a little bit better, but she looked better with pencil feet. So I kept the pencil feet, and now I have another foot design I'll probably use for something else in the future. So who the fuck knows? But yeah, that's that. And the legs aren't the best part of the mock. It's something I attempted to do. There's another mock I made. I forget her name, but it was a red and black Necrospherian woman who is still technically on mock pages, but she's just a picture and the title. A lot of my stuff on mock pages, like, all the information got wiped, and I don't know why. Primarily the Necrospherians, all their information got wiped, so I don't know where any of that is. But it's like the second time I've really tried to make a feminine-looking mock, and it didn't turn out fantastic. I mean, some of the curves are there, but primarily, I don't know, man. I feel like, again, if I really took the time and did it, I could have made it look better, but I didn't want to put in the time. I want to work on other stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to work on. So I'm just kind of moving on from all this, seeing where I can go. So yeah, also you can tell, just like Circuit, there is a giant stand coming out of her, not necessarily her butt like in Circuit, but on her back. It's clear as I can make it be, except for the wheel, the 2 little tires there, which I guess at this point might as well be landing gear. Because, man, again, she's heavy. She's a heavier mock than Circuit. Circuit can pull it off really well because she's kind of light. And, you know, she's a smaller build and smaller frame. It works out perfectly. With her, I need to have something rubberized on the bottom here so she doesn't slip off, especially with her weapons, which, again, I'll get to in a little bit. But, yeah. I mean, if I wanted to give her feet, even then, it would be hard to balance her because, again, her weapons and just how much weight is, like, here in her body. There's not a lot to really counterbalance any of that. So let's move on to her body. After waiting for a battery recharge and eating some nice bowl of soup, I return to look at some body parts. The chest in particular, I had more of a grand idea to give her posable boobs. Primarily because it's something I've never done before, something I could try out. Maybe I can make it actually look not bad. But I decided not to. Went for a more compact look in the design. And I'm so happy I found these little pieces here. I know I'm completely out of focus, and I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm happy I found these pieces. These came from, what was it, Big Chill, one of the Ben 10 construction sets that came out like right after Bionicle was canceled. But these are cool parts. I think I have 4, but I only found 3, so go figure. And happy I bought another Onua, because my review copy is still around, but I needed these armor bits, so thank God I bought another one. But yeah, the body is nothing crazy to write home about. Looking at the back of it as well, you can see, again, not much going on. Red ball joint there. There's a red ball joint here on her butt. There's a red ball joint here behind her knee. Kind of in dire straits in terms of ball joints, and I could order them, but for some reason I can't justify buying a newer style ball joint for more than 10 cents a piece. I don't know if that means I'm cheap, but I know I'm cheap, but that's separate, but whatever. But that's alright. The coolest part of this MOC in general that I had devised is the way the shoulders are made, because they use two Onua masks. And, I guess I just said the thing where my review copy of Onua was fine, but, lol, I took his mask. I took the mask from him. But, using that design where you can just clip this on the shoulder, I added a little lightsaber peg there, so that when you're moving the arm... Whoa, as soon as I do this shit in practice, it friggin' breaks on me. Oh, I'm not surprised. But yeah, once you move the arm around a lot, the shoulder armor can move around with the arm. And there's a little light blue detail in there. It doesn't serve any other purpose than having some more light blue in the MOC. But yeah, I think that's a snazzy way to do it. It's better than having them all flop around and whatever. The little lightsaber peg does occasionally go inside this little bit of armor. So sometimes it just negates the entire thing. Like, it just happened right there. I've just been clipped. But I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think it works. That's the best part of the MOC. Well, I wouldn't say the best. Arms, oh, oh, man. I'm like, yeah, it's a cool design. And it just starts falling apart every time I move my arm. Or move its arm. Or I'll just take the arm off. That works out even better. Arm design, altogether, is basic. Basic as all get out. Straight out Hero Factory armor and armor placement. Not necessarily out of not wanting to make a custom arm. Again, this is a situation where I thought it looked better with just this arm. In the hand, I'm using these little clip bits for the first time as hands, and it's not my favorite thing to do. I did it primarily just for variety. It's better than using like minifigure hands or using Exoforce hands. So, I tried doing this. It doesn't look half bad. It looks okay. I think it looks, for the most part, alright. Now for another point of contention I had when making this MOC is the head, which is... It's a baddie head. So I'm gonna... Again, another moment where I have to get up. Oh, there we go. When I first made this MOC, as a cruel thing of just like irony in terms of this MOC being called Vanity, I made this forehead. This very, not disturbing, but just like gruesome looking. Like, dude has a giant, like, friggin' gaping toothed jaw, 4 eyes, the friggin', like, edged forehead. Like, this just looks rough, and I love it. But then the more I thought about it, and some other people told me, it's like, dude, this doesn't fit the MOC at all. Like, you made a MOC that tried to be, like, seductive and sexy, and you failed. I'm like, oh, well. So, I made this head, which I think is an awesome looking head, to be honest with you, and I'm very proud in terms of putting pieces together. I know that this is atrocious. Let me just get everything in focus here. Yeah, there we go. So, the head in general, I love that I was able to get the 4 eyes in there for all that. Kept the same type of look here with like the edged face, but I flipped it around so it looks more of like a mouth plate. Back of the head, nothing particularly special. I like the little bat wings. I was going to use these for another MOC I had planned in the future, but you know, she looks cute with little bat wings, so I did that. Actually, if I flip this around, hold on. I actually make this comparison for the first time. Yeah, you know what? If I wanted to, if I really wanted to, you know, flip that around and have her like flip her head around and give her like an evil head, that wouldn't be a terrible idea. I don't know. I'm gonna use that head for something else though. I don't know what, but I'm gonna use it for something else. So yeah, the last major thing I do want to cover in this video are her weapons, which are based off Angelic Lightning, where she had this giant hula hoop which could split into wings, made of these bits. Except here I made them posable, which is cool, but also just very much a pain in the ass, because they're connected with lightsaber rods. So if you've ever experienced trying to do something like this in the past yourself, you've realized it's a very loose connection, and I haven't bothered to tighten any of it. Not on purpose, but I was just lazy. I didn't feel like doing it. But yeah, let me move her back here. I'm sorry if things have been out of frame. I'm a little too close to the camera to the point where I'm having a hard time actually seeing my viewfinder here. But yeah, she has these cool little bits, some spikes on each one of these, to make her look spiky. And I think it helps. The way I always have her posed on my desk. Typically, it's caught back here. Typically, just has these bits going down, and she's holding on to them, and she's just kind of like that. And there's also, if you look through the pictures in the slideshow and on Flickr, you can do a thing where you can put them in a circle and have them in like a giant circle around her back, trying to make her look like a deity. And I do have this little bit here to make that happen. I can't connect it to the body. Well, no, if I wanted to, I could. I mean, I can, for storage's sake, I could just throw that right there. Yeah, there we go. And there. So that's Vanity. I'm going to say that I like her. I think looking at her on the shelf, I think is very cool, but I think she's one of those MOCs where I'm not really supposed to play with all that much. I'm not proud of her, but I'm happy how she turned out. So I'm kind of middle of the road in terms of, the final idea or the final feeling I have about this MOC. Like it's not like making this right out, like after making Namaste, like I'm so proud of how he turned out. But then making this, I'm just like, for something I wanted to work on for a while, I finally made it. I guess maybe I kind of rushed it when I finally started to build it, and I had some cool ideas, but I didn't flesh any of them out too well. But I don't know. I think in general she's okay. I think she's fun. I think some stuff I had planned for her, whether I just really decide to use her or not, I think would be cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if I was rambly and decided to walk away from the camera twice. I love that. I love that kind of stuff, though. All that candid BS. Brah. Anyway, guys, this is Shadow Gear 665, and I'll see you folks another time. Goodbye!